the new Moses, as did the first, is giving the law from a mountain. He speaks with authority, as the Pharisees themselves, experts of the law, soon pick up, and it makes them somewhat jealous. The advantage of our faith is that it is actually essentially very simple. The early authors within the New Testament itself picked it up. John, Paul, saw how the whole law was summed up in one word. You will love your neighbour as yourself. And so the Lord goes to the essence of it and actually goes far further than what Moses prescribes. With regard to the honour that we owe each other, it applies to the realm of holy purity, for we do not look upon someone else as an object, but a universe to be loved, honoured and respected. It applies also in the way that we treat our God. It is true, we can, in a court of law, take God as our witness. It is a legitimate oath. But to go out of that sacred context and to take oaths to bring God into conversation just like that is not to honour, respect and love the one who made us, and in the case of the Holy Name, who redeemed us. With regard also to worship, the Lord indicates discreetly but really how we cannot compartmentalize God in worship and man in another box. He wants healing of relationship in our worship. Our moments of worship should be moments of healing encounter. There should be no bitterness in the house of God. St. Benedict refers to the whole monastery as the house of God. And a good community should be a healing community. Indeed, a little hermitage should be a place where everyone who comes is met, honoured and loved. For Jesus is there. Jesus is in the person that he sent, and Jesus is waiting to heal. The house of God must be a little bit of heaven upon earth, claimed by the one who made the whole earth, and wanting parts for himself, where he may freely reign. With regard to the fundamental choice of which the Ecclesiasticus speaks, it does apply. There is a moment in the life of a young person, quite often when he begins to switch off from God, as though God and Santa Claus were in the same category. He has grown up. But if he's not careful, he can use that as an excuse not to listen anymore to what is actually for us the voice of God, the tingling plea of conscience. And once that is no longer heard, we know what follows. And so it is that the Lord wants to be Lord of the choice, which is to say yes always to light, and also of all the choices that that leads to. There is in all human souls the experience of pain on the level of the conscience when there is a turning away from what it knows secretly to be right. It is true that in some cultures are formed from an early age to say that some things are right. It is difficult for us to plumb that conscience, and we have no right to. But surely the conscience which actually is planted there by the Maker himself cannot but perceive that certain things are not right. It is doing violence to itself. And by the way, C.S. Lewis, in his great volume, Mere Christianity, picks up this fact that in every human soul, in every age, culture and society, knows certain things, as though a great hand had written a law in it with indelible ink, and he sees that as a proof that there is a God, one who actually wishes our good and is moral and wanting to form a planet. Whatever the context of a human soul, its structure is the same. True, it can become hardened and act as though the conscience didn't exist, but it knows. The only way it can avoid the issue is by not facing it, and that actually is massively what is happening on this planet now. People don't want to listen to themselves, therefore to God in themselves. If they did, there would be a certain openness to the unchanging voice of truth, the unchanging promptings of the Holy Spirit, who after all sees each one as an immortal gem, does everything he possibly can, wherever they are, to use whatever they have and that they understand, to get them to glory. We must do the same. And so it is that we have not so much a religion as a relationship, inseparable actually. We love God, and because we love him, we honour him in what he's made. We love each immortal soul that we cannot bear to think everlastingly lost. An Syrian